You're
What's
good
up,
whenever.
everybody? Welcome back. Hope you had a great
Wait,
holiday.
sorry. Restart that. I said you're good whenever as soon as you
Uh,
started. So
what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Confidently Flawed episode. We hope you had a great 4th of July. You're getting out, enjoying the sunshine. And speaking of getting out and enjoying the sunshine, we wanted to talk a little bit about doing such a thing of getting outside, getting movement in, being active, and getting things like walking in. And we've talked about walking in the past where we relay it to like fitness and health and losing weight and things like that. And, studies will show, I don't know the exact studies, but it can add years to your life, right? And something is so simple as walking can have such a massive impact on us. And really, as humans, we're designed to move. We're designed to walk a lot. Unfortunately, our society nowadays is pretty sedentary, right? Where we're not moving a whole lot. It's pretty straightforward. Anything there. So, um, with that said, is we wanted to discuss not only like not just the benefits of walking fitness wise, but what are some of the other benefits of walking in maybe even like how you can get more of it in, or what are the benefits that you're going to see for that. So Brooke, I know you're an avid walker. You really believe in the power of walking and doing things like that. So what can the listeners here, what are some other benefits to walking that maybe they've never even thought of before?
yeah, I think walking, I mean, yes, walking, we think of it as fitness. And while yes, it's amazing for your fitness, it's a wonderful health, just overall, weight loss, kind of gets, your heart rate going a little bit, but not too crazy. So it's just a really, really good habit to get into. But I think there's so many other kind of hidden gems of walking that people don't realize. And one of my favorites is like digestion support. After meals, walking is one of the best things that you can do for your digestion and just your overall gut health. And we've talked about it on the show many times. Gut health rules the world. Like your gut health has a huge effect on the rest of your body. It has effect of your hormones, it has effects of your energy, your stress levels. And so when you eat, if you feel like after you eat you're uncomfortable, if you feel like after you eat you're really tired, if you feel like after you eat you're gassy and bloated and just like need to go to the bathroom, it's very likely you're having digestion issues. And one of the best ways that you can fix that is just going for a walk. No, I mean, yes, don't get me wrong, supplements are wonderful, but like so many people are so dependent on supplements to help them with their gut health issues. And yes, there is a time and a place, but if you can simply eat, and you don't have to go for like an hour long walk, like go for 5 minutes and just get your body moving. It just helps your body digest food. That's super amazing for you. Another thing that walking is wonderful for you, especially if you time it right, is for your cortisol pattern, specifically your circadian rhythm. One of the best things that you can do for your cortisol is get outside and see sunlight first thing in the morning when you wake up. And then about 12 hours later, when it starts to get darker, let your body see that it's getting darker. And that's going to tell your body it's bedtime. So if you can in the morning get out, one of the first things you can do in the morning is go for a walk when the sun's coming up. Even if it's 5 minutes, it doesn't need to be this like hour long walk, but you're basically just telling your body, okay, it's time to wake up. Like the sun is out, it's affecting your circadian rhythm for the positive. And then you go in the evening when it starts to get a little bit darker, where your eyes is resonating with the sun going down and it's starting to get a little darker outside, your body will naturally calm down. And if you feel like you're someone who has sleep issues, walking according to the sun is one of the best things you can do, because again, a lot of people have trouble with sleeping because of circadian rhythm issues, because of cell phones, because of TVs, because our body is seeing blue light from the phones, from the TVs, from our devices, our iPads, our computers, those who like work late at nighttime. Your body looks at the blue light and thinks that it's still daytime. In all reality, it could be getting ready to go to bed. So it takes your body time to just like recoup. So, yes, a lot of people, that's where you hear people talk about red light therapy, where you should be using red light and in the evening instead of blue light. But another one of the things that you can do is literally just go outside when it starts to get darker. And yes, you could just like go outside and just sit. Like, I know some people who just go outside and, like, have their cup of coffee or eat their breakfast outside for the circadian rhythm, but the way I see it, if you're outside, you might as well get a little active and walk around a little bit, even if you make laps around your yard. Like, that's what I do at first thing in the morning. Like, now that it's summertime and I've got, like, my garden and flowers, I literally wake up, I'll go right outside. I don't wear shoes because I do some grounding, and I walk around my house a couple times to like just like look at my plants over here and to look at my garden over here. And that's my little bit of walking. It's not like I'm putting on my sneakers and going for a nice like walk. It's truly something as simple as a couple laps around my house, which takes me maybe 5 minutes, but that's just getting your body going. And then obviously the last major thing I'll share is the sun. Sun is healing. Sun is super beneficial for you. Yes, I understand some people are more sensitive to the sun. So in those events, like make sure you're wearing your sunscreen, make sure you're covering, if that's something that's an effect for you. But getting in that sun and seeing the sun, it's healing. Sun helps with inflammation issues. The sun helps with, it helps your body make vitamin D, and vitamin D is crucial for so many different things. Just sunlight in general helps with your stress hormones. It helps with hormones in general. I mean, I could go on and on and on about the benefits of the sun, and you get that from walking. You get that even on a cloudy day, guys. And being outside, the fresh air, sometimes the house gets stuffy, and a lot of our homes, especially just with the toxic things that we bring into our homes, are extremely toxic to breathe. So when you get outside, you get away from the toxic air in your home, and you're breathing the air, you're getting that sunlight. I mean, I could just go on and on and on, but walking is, yes, it's amazing for fitness purposes, but walking is amazing for so many other purposes.
Yeah, and I'm an avid walker, or try to be at least. And when I'm feeling my best is usually when I'm walking consistently or getting a certain amount of steps in. And there's a couple things that you kind of touched on that I think are important to note is, it doesn't have to be like what you normally think of walking, where I have to dedicate 30 to 60 minutes and go out and walk. Like, sure, is that great? Absolutely. But it can be other ways, like when you're gardening, you have housework to do around the house, or you know, it if if Johnny has soccer practice, like walking a couple laps around the soccer field while you're just sitting there waiting anyways, right? Like there's so many different ways of how you can get movement and steps and getting outside and all that while you're kind of multitasking in our busy world, right? For me, if I have meetings, a lot of times I'll go for walks while I'm on a Zoom meeting, right? Or if one of my favorite things for walking, I do it for mental health, like you were talking about. I do it to just get outside and all the benefits of sunlight, fresh air, things like that. Building my immune system, all those different things are so important for me, and I that's why I make sure I get outside and walk as much as I can. It's not a crazy amount, but I try to. I love the digestion one too. When I feel my absolute best after eating is always, always, always when I walk after. Always, no matter what. Yeah, I feel so much better when I do that. Even if I have like a large meal or not even the greatest meal, I feel so much better when I walk. It's crazy. But so outside of that, one of my things that I love to do is I am so much more creative when I'm walking, especially when I'm outside. So if I have like I have what I call, and I stole this from, business guy, Alex Hormozy, and he talks about, makers versus managers, right? And there's different points. And as an entrepreneur, there's going to be points in my week where I have to do both, right? Managers are like, I have like tasks I have to do, meetings I have to have, like the day-to-day things, where makers are more, I'm building systems, I'm building the things to move the needle forward. And during a lot of my maker times, I will go out for a walk and just grab a pen and paper or take the notes on my phone, and I'll walk and I'll think, right? And I'll dedicate 30 minutes, 60 minutes to just critically thinking, or not even critically thinking, just open-ended thinking. And I have some of my best ideas and thought-provoking things come during those moments. So, if you're somebody that is more of a maker situation, somebody that has to build things, that has to build processes or systems or plans to overcome obstacles or whatever it is, or just in relationships or in settings that you have to create something to solve something and you have to have dedicated time to think, going for a walk and doing that is super effective. At least for me, it is. So, not only does it help with obviously fitness and weight loss and getting more movement and things like that, but to some of Brooke's points, it's going to help with, you know, mental health, right? It's going to help with, the, like you said, like the grounding and just overall wellness and things like that. But it also can help with things like creativity and getting movement in because your unconscious mind or your conscious mind is focusing on walking, that your unconscious mind can kind of be unlocked. So, if you've ever been driving or taking a shower where you're doing something, you have these like thought provoking things, right? It's the same concept. So, that's how I generally will utilize walking is the mental health side of things, overall wellness, and then the creativity side of things. And how I generally get it done with a busy work week and, having a family and all that is I try to do it during times that I don't have to actually be sitting in front of a computer, like Zoom meetings. If I'm learning, like reading a book or an Audible or whatever it is, right? Like those are times that I'll go out and try to get a walk in during that process.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I love to multitask in my walks too. Like I'll listen to podcasts, sometimes I'll make phone calls and I'm with you. Like if I go on walks and I get ideas and I brainstorm, like I'll just like talk into my voice memos or voice notes. That's just a great way too. I think there's many ways. I think sometimes when we think walking, like, oh, I have to go walk 3, 4, 5 miles. Have to go walk for 20, 30 minutes. Like it doesn't have to be that extensive. It doesn't have to be that detailed. It literally can be as simple as I'm on the phone right now with my grandma that I don't talk to very often. And I know we talk on the phone for an hour every time she calls me. So I'm going to, utilize this time and I'm going to walk and talk with her. Or again, gardening, like, or cutting your grass or things like that. Like, hey, it's got to get done. Here's house chores. I'm just going to make, a workout out of it and I'm going to walk and I'm going to, go back and forth rather than staying stagnant. There's just so many benefits to walking that if we're not encouraging you by now, we challenge you to just get out and start doing it and see the benefits yourself because you will notice a difference in your health and wellness if you just start implementing walking throughout your days. And again, it doesn't have to be extensive. It doesn't have to be this whole elaborate plan, just something as simple as just getting out and doing it. So we hope you guys get out and go walking, and maybe you're even listening to us while you're walking. So that's even better. But if you think someone would value from this episode, if you could share this with them, give us a rating and review if you haven't yet. And once again, we'll be back next week with another episode of Confidently Flawed.